Today, we'll be talking about Japanese author Kotaro Isaka. Kotaro Isaka was born in 1971 in Fukushima Prefecture, town of Motomiya. So he graduated from Tohoku University, where he studied law, and then that sort of influenced his writings. And you will see mostly most of the novelists, they study law and then they start writing. So there is some influence with the law as well in majority of the novelists that I actually read and cover. So he won the Sincho Mystery Club Prize and then the Mystery Writers of Japan Award, and his novels have also been adapted to movies, and I'll talk about the most famous movie as well, which was adapted from one of his novels. So Isaka is known for mixing a lot of action, and there is a lot of humor in his novels, just because of the way the characters behave, and even their basic names of the characters. They provide some humor, and with the actions that they take. So there is a lot of mystery, action, and humor tied into all of his novels. So he has characters that are not usual characters, you can call. They are very eccentric, and that's what makes for unexpected twists and turns. There is a lot of background that he reveals as we go through the novels. So he has amazing versatility for writing across the genres. And he maintains this humor. So he is very witty and keen eye for observing the modern life and a lot of absurdities that exist within it. So one of his most celebrated novels was Grasshopper. It was originally written in Japanese, and then somebody had to translate it over, right? And that's the one we'll be covering today. And I'll go over what Grasshopper and what it got translated to in English as well. So the novel has been mostly his trademark, but I would also say he has written a lot of short stories and essays. So there is a lot of versatility with Kotaro Isaka. So he's very broad in terms of his writings. So we'll cover some of the novels of this author. So Grasshopper originally was written in Japanese. Like most of the Japanese authors, they write in Japanese, and then there is an English translator that should take this Japanese version and convert it to English. So majority of the Japanese novelists, there is some of them that are still not translated. So I think most of the translators should pick up that activity to get more and more of these Japanese novels out there available for majority of us who are English readers. So I love reading most of the Japanese novelists. So Grasshopper itself was translated, and then it was called Three Assassins. And Three Assassins is a very interesting novel. So the name itself, right? It kind of hints that there are three assassins, but there is a lot of story tied behind that. So it is set amid Tokyo's criminal underworld. So the criminal underworld has its own characters, and that's where these characters and assassins come into the picture. But it's stories revolving around an ordinary man that has to fight against these talented and unusual assassins. So Suzuki is a very ordinary man until his wife is murdered. And to get the answers for why his wife was murdered, and also to kind of have some revenge, Suzuki abandons his normal life and kind of law-abiding life, and takes this low-level job with the front company, and then this is a criminal underworld operation of Tokyo. The crime gang name is Maiden. So the crime gang Maiden apparently is where kind of Suzuki is suspecting it originated from, and he's pretty sure that this was the gang that was responsible for his wife's death. So the novel unfolds where mostly Suzuki and these three assassins find their fates and a complex sort of betrayal, the quest of justice that Suzuki is seeking, and there is also revenge. And soon Suzuki is finding that these are highly trained, superhuman kind of assassins. They are good at what they do. So he is like pitted against these three assassins, and the assassin names, if you see here, they are very unique. Cicada is a knife expert, and the pusher, he just pushes people onto oncoming traffic, and that's how this assassin operates. And the whale, he whispers like bleak aphorisms, essentially aphorisms like a penny saved is a penny earned, like that's one aphorism, right? But this whale assassin, he whispers different kind of aphorisms, and they are very bleak, and this makes his targets kind of go and kill themselves. So he doesn't need to do a whole lot of things except keep uttering these aphorisms. And we can see the first assassin is sort of known for his methodical and meticulous approach to his craft, and there is a sense of detachment and total professionalism, right? He just does the job, whatever is given. He doesn't care what it is about, and it's a complete detachment in terms of how he operates. So very methodical and meticulous. And the second assassin is driven by personal vendetta. So he is like seeking retribution for some of the past activities that haunt him, and the past is always haunting this second assassin. And the third assassin is most enigmatic, right? And he operates with a code that blurs between right and wrong, and makes him very unpredictable and equally very dangerous because of the way he perceives the things of right versus the wrong. So the story and Isaka is crafting all the connections between these assassins and their targets. So the reader is drawn into a lot of intrigue. So there is a motivation for each one of the characters, and it slowly gets unveiled. And plot goes very, very fast, right? And essentially, all of their actions are tied to seeking some nature of justice. So there is Isaka's signature, which is like very sharp dialogue and very complex characters, and a plot that is always difficult to land upon as it moves. It is very fast and very intricate. So the theme, meanwhile, while we progress through the novel, there is an impact of the past on the present, which is highly dominant narrative, and there is also themes of redemption, and then there is themes of loyalty that are sort of drawn upon as the reader goes ahead and reads the novel. So it's a very wonderful read, and do go and read Three Assassins, or in Japanese it was called Grasshopper. So Bullet Train, this was adapted into a movie, and the movie was starring Brad Pitt, and the narrative itself, if people have seen the movie, they would certainly even enjoy reading this novel as well. It is set against the backdrop of a high-speed journey, right? Going from Tokyo, Morioka. and on a bullet train. And in Japan, they call them Shinkansens. Bullet trains are called as Shinkansens. And the novel is combining a lot of dark humor, which Isaka is known for, as we talked about in the previous one. And there is always that story that keeps the readers on the edge. So the story really revolves around five assassins that are getting on board the train, and then how each one is intertwined together. So the narrative also goes with how each one of them is harboring their own secret and deadly agendas to begin with. And one of them is like Satoshi, a young man known as the Prince, and different danger, charm, and a sinister plan that he has. And then Kimura is another character who boards the train with the intention of avenging his son's death. And he has no, his son actually is not dead. He's in a coma, sort of. Almost because of the actions of another passenger. So another passenger name is Nanao. He is the most unluckiest assassin in the world, and here he's boarding himself on the train for a job. But as the misfortune leads to unnecessary complications or unexpected complications that end up for Nanao, and that's why he's dubbed as the unluckiest assassin in the world. And alongside these characters, there are two other assassins. So look at the names. The names of the characters in the novel are also very interesting. Tangerine and Lemon. Their presence on the train is also linked to something mysterious that they are after. So the bullet train speeds to their destination from Tokyo to Moriyaka, and then each one of the characters' path, they are kind of tossed into a lot of unpredictable alliances that happen, and then there is a series of violent confrontation, and this is all against like the window where the train is zipping past the land in Japan, and that's the kind of narrative you get, and very nicely done in the movie as well, where they show as a screenwriter and a director, kind of showing from inside, like how the windows, the external landscape is zipping very fast, just like the plot is moving very fast as well. So he's weaving a lot of backstories and motivations. There is connections between all of them, right? Like we know the five assassins get on, and then what happens, who survive, and so on. And within the confined setting of a train, that amplifies the tension, as sort of now the characters need to navigate through this complex thing of having to do alliances, unexpected alliances, and then there is betrayal, there is themes of redemption that some are after. So there is a real blurring of the line between good and evil. The characters, despite being from the criminal world, right, they are sort of, you feel for them. There is moments of lot of moments of humor and vulnerability, of course, and it's sort of a very unique blend of the characters and the action-packed suspense that is brought along with a very dark comedy. And Isaka does this really well. He knows the everyday societies, and he builds these contemporary themes based on the lives in Japan, and but set in a criminal underworld. So the high-speed rail system is very interesting, and hence the name Shinkansen or bullet train. And overall, he's a very witty writer, and the narrative really moves very fast, just like the bullet train. The next one is the mantis, and mantis, as we know, the praying mantis, right? Um, it's praying, and then it's the most like vicious predator out there in sort of the insect kingdom. So he sets up this title, and the setting is in the criminal world of underworld of Tokyo again, and there is a family man, and there is a lot of tension that this family man is going through, and he has to hide his secret life as a hitman. Kabuto, the man's name is Kabuto. The family man's name is Kabuto, and he is highly skilled assassin. And but now he has done enough, and he wants to escape his dangerous profession, and escape from all of this. But there is a tight hold that his handler, who is also his doctor, that has over him. And the doctor is a real physician. He hands over Kabuto's targets as prescriptions in his regular appointment. And the doctor knows Kabuto's skills. He's a very skilled assassin. He doesn't want to lose Kabuto as a profitable asset. But ultimately, the doctor agrees that Kabuto can get his way out or buy his way out of his employment as an assassin with a few last jobs. But the last jobs, the most lucrative job out of this professional assassin business, he has to really fight these dangerous hitmans and the other assassins. So this is very interesting. He's a family man. The family doesn't know. He's leading a double life, and the dangers that he's facing. All of these they bring a very witty kind of dark humor comedy setup, and all the assassins, as we noticed in the Bullet Train, and then in the earlier one, the three assassins, they have unique code names and the modus operandi. So truly, once you grab like a Kotaro Isaka novel, you're filled with energy, and then it is fast-paced action, and the readers are really pushed towards their limits, towards a very thrilling climax. So do go ahead and read The Mantis. The next one is Remote Control. Remote Control was a very interesting read for me, and the reason is because of its setup. So Masaharu Ayogi, he's a former delivery truck driver right in the city of Sendai, Japan, and he is now unemployed. About a couple of years ago, he achieved like sort of a brief fame, which was notorious, and he happened to rescue a local actress from a robbery attempt, and this was while he was making a delivery to her apartment. And he's back in the spotlight, this time as a suspect in assassination of a newly elected prime minister who had come to Sendai for a hometown victory parade, right? And the prime minister is assassinated. So now the setting itself, look at it, it's so amazing. The setting is Japan, but it's modeled on United States. It follows Ayogi's 48-hour journey with the dramatic retelling of the Kennedy assassination. Kennedy killing, but with now Ayogi in the role of the framed, or people can argue framed or not framed, but Ayogi is in the role of Lee Harvey Oswald, right? So a massive panic is underway, and Ayogi runs, and he must negotiate a lot of the cops and the law enforcement themselves. They are very trigger happy, and they want to get rid of him, right? And we all know the backdrop of Lee Harvey Oswald's story, and essentially he has to navigate through the city, which is monitoring every street. All the communication also is being tracked, and all the street traffic everything literally is tracked. So he has to navigate with all this kind of surveillance, and it's the statehood that is behind a yogi now, right? And how can he escape when there is a lot of powerful surveillance activities that can prevent anybody from escaping the eyes? So the reader will finally discover why a yogi has been set up and who is really responsible in a very thrilling adventure. So to go ahead and read another alternate story of Kennedy killing and Lee Harvey Oswald, and it's a different kind of a thrilling adventure, and you need to find the real assassin and prove to the world that's a yogi. He has to do all of that, and meanwhile the media is also calling him as the guilty one, and the verdict is already out, right? Like yogi has already been called out as the main assassin, and the conspiracy and the conspirators, they are brought out into the open as the novel progresses, and towards the end, a very thrilling ride that you can take as a reader. So that's it for today.